to return this really difficult serve, we're going to get you in a good position from the glass. We're going to have a nice, simple swing to the shot, and we're going to pick a simple target to aim for on the other side. Let's do this. Tip number one is your positioning from the glass. So many players panic, they know their opponent's going to serve here, and to try and avoid it, they rush in towards the glass and they try and hit, but when you get close to the glass, there's no space to swing, so you end up getting stuck and pushing at the ball. What you want to do is allow yourself this space, allow the ball to rebound away from the glass. I know it's going to be low, I know it might be fast and it's going to come off the glass a little bit low, but at least if you have space between you and the glass, you can actually swing with your racket and comfortably scoop this ball up to the other side. Tip number two is technical. Have a nice short take back with a compact swing. So when the ball comes in, you get the racket, open the door as we say, imagine the racket is the door, your hand is the hinge, open that door, so when the ball comes off the glass, you're swinging from a take back position of here rather than going away from the ball. The further you go away, the faster you're going to have to swing, the more difficult the timing is. So early take back in this position, the ball comes off, and a nice compact swing through the ball is going to help you be more accurate on the other side. If you come up against someone with a particularly tricky slice serve, what happens with the slice is the ball bounces, it hits the glass, it comes down. A good thing for you to do is almost to drop the racket head, keep it quite close to the ground, and from here it's much easier for you to come up underneath that ball on the contact, even if it's really low. The moment you go from here and you try and hit, those are going to become impossible to return. Tip number three is go for a simple return. The simplest is just back to the server. It doesn't have to be like when you watch Premier Padel on Rebel TV and you see the players going for very difficult returns. They're going for lobs, they're hitting high to the backhands, they're hitting small angles towards the fence. You don't need to do that. If you can get your ball back and you can neutralize the serve, remember, the server probably thinks that that's a weapon for them. So if you can just get that back to them to start the point, you're already on a good foot in the point. There are a couple of very difficult things about this return specifically. The first is not panicking. So often the ball goes into the glass and subconsciously or consciously players are panicking about this ball because they hate it, they hate this shot, and so they want to just get away from it. So if you can reduce the amount of panic you feel by using the side glass, a great way to do this is to practice this shot. You can set a ball machine up that goes into the side glass, or you might have a training partner or friend that could serve into this side glass so you can do some repetitions of this shot. Practice builds confidence and therefore you'll be able to get this in the game. The second point that's also very difficult with the return is knowing when to use the glass or not. Here we focused primarily on defending a slice serve after the glass, and that's usually one that hits further up the glass like this. Anything that's going to hit further back in the glass, particularly those with slice, you definitely want to step in and play this before. You don't want to get stuck in this horrible corner here with a ball that has slice on. So again, that can come from practice. So we've explained that in the forehand corner, but the principles are exactly the same for the backhand corner and the side glass on the backhand return. Again, you need to have your distance from the glass so you've got space to swing. Again, you want a short take back that's nice and compact. If you are playing a very difficult or low ball with the glass on the backhand, you might even want to open the face slightly more as opposed to drop the head like we do on the forehand. Backhand, open that face more so you can come underneath that ball and again aim for a simple area on the other side of the court. The simpler you keep your return, the less risk you take, the more likely you are to get the ball in. There's a couple of common errors with the backhand side. First actually is with the footwork. Often players are stepping across their body and trying to play round their body like this with a twist. What you want to do is actually be with a semi-open stance so you have lots of space to swing here. The second common error with the backhand is the use of your left hand. So often players are flapping at the ball without using the left hand, but the left hand is essentially like priming a slingshot. You want to take the racket back, it pulls the racket back to this position, and then when you release, this is actually where you get a solid contact on the ball, where you get a bit of power on that shot, and that will help you, particularly off the return, generate that punchy ball that you need to go to the other side. I think the main thing when it comes to the return, both backhand and forehand side, is don't be afraid. So often players are trying to avoid the glass, not let the ball hit the glass, but you need to build up repetitions. You need to let that ball go in so you can figure out where the rebound will be, and in a few months of practicing, you won't even consider this a difficult shot. This is a really game-changing part of your paddle game. If you can get the serves that bounce off the glass, it's a little bit like the boss at an end of a level. You go through, you can unlock the next level in your game, and I definitely think that players that can return off the side glass well are really high intermediate to advanced players. But this is something that definitely requires practice in order for you to get right. So do me proud.